Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 29, yeah, it was a 29 degree, oh no, I'm sorry, 31 degree Thursday, the 24th of April. Or I got the 29, the other day it was 29. It just kind of keeps clicking forward a little bit each day, you notice that? Actually, I think yesterday might have been a little more than 31. Anyway, but the temperature now is 50. I think it was 49 yesterday. But your little morning forecast. It's supposed to be 73, I think, here in Toledo. Yesterday was supposed to be 70, so it's just slowly clicking up. Summer is well on its way. And the rain this weekend looks like it's been canceled. Now the rain is on Tuesday of next week. But the weekend's still not really warm, but it's warmer than what it was, so it just keeps getting better, which is what it does this time of year. Then it gets hot and just gets hot and dry and stays that way for 3 or 4 months. Actually, the rain almost feels welcome at first, but the old classic saying, be careful what you wish for. Lawn needs mowed again already. Though not as bad, despite it rained the day after I cut it. But anyway, let's roll to the Southland, and a good day's work busted out. Yo, come on along. 60 degrees already this morning here in Van Chulo land.
It's gonna be warm.
Yep. I didn't pay attention to what the. Of course, as soon as I look, I got other things on my phone.
Yeah.
Or my watch, I mean. It always pops up there when you. Oh, it's just showing 73 here. It's showing like 78 in Toledo. It's going to be hotter in Toledo than Vancouver.
Really? You sure that's not backwards? I thought it was the other way around.
Oh.
But anyway.
Crazy. Anyway, we made it to Thursday.
Yep.
Just got to knock a couple days out. Then another weekend comes upon us.
Yep.
Weekends go faster than the weekdays, though.
Oh, man. Going to blank.
It's just clicking away, man. Looking at pictures, it says 3 years ago today. I go, wait a minute, that was just last year.
I know. Yeah, it goes fast.
Yeah, just literally a flash.
Mm-hmm.
Mama, let's get in here and earn our keep.
All right.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful Thursday there, Mama.
You too, hubba.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
I'm literally about to pull my hair out. I still have that air client on that computer. Well, I'll just show you here. I don't know how they done that, but it's a keyed gas cap. They don't use the keyless ride on these things. I think the cars don't have push button. I don't know for sure, but yeah. Somehow or another he broke that. I can't find this thing on the microfiche anywhere. One of the other officers was here getting something that was in the bags, and he goes, yeah, I don't know how you done that. But one of his brackets that he's going along, found the whole tailpiece was dangling in the background there. But, yeah, crazy things happen. But look what showed up. Amazingly cheap. I mean, it's like, I think it's less than $20 retail. I've literally, so many people have come in with their either wrong screws or missing screws. My little magic stash is used up. That's the hold down bracket. The trick is getting these 2 hooks to fall in the hole in the frame. Boom. You pull that down, you pull the strap up, and it holds that battery in there nice and still. Somebody, I don't know if I answered the comment, somebody said there's nobody around nearby, so he got a Duracell, which I've seen quite a few Duracells in these things, and they seem to work. And although I've replaced a few of them, there was some in that stack. But anyway, any battery, it doesn't matter what it is, if they're not taken care of, they'll be gone. But some of the non-Yuasa batteries, do I have one of these laying around? Well, I just use this BMW battery as a as an example. Exposing paperwork. So those little ears go over the front of the battery. And if you put a Duracell, I think they got a very flat top to them. It doesn't quite hold it right, but from what I've seen, it's holding them. So yeah, I've seen that. It will hold the battery. So anyway, get that popped in, and the pumpkin lives again. And don't worry, it's not going to hit the rack. I got the steering locked. I usually leave them unlocked in here so I can roll them around. Well, if it's near anything it can back into, or just imagine the damage that rack would do if somebody come along and pushed it into it. Yep, if they're in any compromised position, lock the steering or the park brake. I haven't even put my stuff away from last night. Ooh, the air conditioner's running and it feels good down here. It's already that, I don't know what it's, 70 something. But I don't know if it's humidity or what, but I think it's just we're not used to. I mean, here in a month or so, 70-something degrees, we'll literally be wearing our winter coats. Because it gets smoking hot. Northwest is, it was really, really, really unusual. Very rare that you got over 100-degree day. I mean, the worst year, a hot day was mid-90s. You know, I come from the South where you can get them temperatures in the fall and spring. Or even more. But now it's quite common to get over 100 degrees now. The records and stuff, they don't even talk about them anymore. It's just, they've all been broken. It just gets hot in the summertime. Luckily, it's for a short period of time. But, even in Texas, I remember, even when I was there in the 90s, when it got super hot, all of a sudden motorcycles just disappeared. It's just too hot. It's that humid heat. The faster you go, the more of a blast furnace it becomes. But, at the most, it was pretty rare that it lasted for a long time. It'd just be a heat wave, just kind of like we have here, but not quite that, extreme heat, but it gets hot. So, I'm gonna go up there, grab my little better half there and pick her brains. I can't bring the thing up because it's connected to a server that luckily they haven't shut down. They told me, he goes, I'm about to shut that BMW, please. It's not being used for anything else. Just let her sit there. It's not like it's using a ton of energy or something. We're still using it. I was supposed to have, I think, an annual service. I'm not sure what the BMW was, but I recognized the name. I just can't put the name with the motorcycle. And anyway, need a gas cap for that thing. It's still working, but it needs to be replaced. So off we go. Sorry about all the blue. The white balance is set for in the shop. But that's the thing you got to deal with when you have massive windows out here. It's not a problem in the wintertime because it's just always dark. You just see what it looks like inside here. All right. Well, that hold down strap wasn't the worst, but she was easily a I don't know, 3 or 4 cuss word install. Man, I can absolutely see why people either don't get them in there right or just simply don't put them in. You'll know when they don't. Oh, look, a little baby skidoo. Yeah, you'll know for sure when they don't put them in there. You hit a bump, you hear boom. You're like, jeez. Like I say, I've seen so many with the trunks loose on Spyders where people take them off and don't put the bolts in or get the bolts started. They bite into the nylock and stop at that. And that's enough free play that it'll make all kinds of noise. But the one that makes more noise than the trunk when the battery's floundering around in there. It's just sitting on this little flat plate, and It has sides, but they're in a V, where the frame comes down. You know, you find the battery in there cocked sideways, and yeah, that battery's got especially a Spyder battery, has got a tremendous amount of power. You do not want that thing shorting out. You can do some pretty good DC welding with one of those things. The worst thing is, you know, if you ignite something, that's real bad. It's funny, you know, when I rode the old Spyders, I'd always end up riding with my hand leaning forward. I don't know, it just like it aches me, and I'll sit here and, like when we're on trips or whatever, I'll shift it with my finger on using the downshift button, just pulling it forward. So those adjustable bars that they had, I know those have been discontinued. I think you can find them online somewhere, but people eBaying them or whatever. But I'd have those things way up. But you know, now, you know, riding the 2020 and newer body style, the third generation, I guess you could call it, RTs, they're so roomy. And I love that the stock bars are actually stretched out a little bit. Ugh. They cannot be too close to me. Now, I ride these and I go, man, that thing is just way too close. But she's got a backrest on this thing, and in the summertime they make me really hot, but it's actually comforting with the bars. It's just the way these things are naturally. Gentleman slowly going across with his guitar. What that look like? I dare you to hit me as you're standing in the middle of the road. I like the little palm trees adorning their driveway there. Man, this is nice out here. Woo. Shows at 71 at the moment. Let's see what the Spyder catches up. I was saying 75. I had it sitting outside idling for a few minutes here. Jeez. That motorhome, that's literally a small house, you know it? Look at that. Oh, the beauty of spring. Hello, hoochie poochie. Geez, the old service manager that I've known, I've known him. Heck, I knew him before I even started working in the motorcycle industry in February 1st, 1980. And he was he working? I don't think he was working at the shop at the time. Maybe he was. Yeah, I think he was. But we used to ride dual sports and stuff around together. He had a XL500S, which he still has, the original 79 XL500S. And he did the same thing as like I did on my my XL250S, which became a 350, which worked out to be exactly 347 cc's, I think is what it worked out to be. So we're goofing around. This is when we were still Longview Motorsports, and he rode that old 500 down, and he was going on about how he had it all souped up, and he rides the thing down there. I said, that thing's like completely stopped. He goes, oh, this thing's fast enough to, you know, he likes to sew a yarn. You know, it's very entertaining, so nobody really cares. But anyway, he wanted to run me down that alley. Was back there, and that little 350 you know, punched out 250, absolutely ate his 500. We did like about 3 different runs, and yeah, it hopelessly had no way of keeping up. But that thing was built to the hilt. She was hot. It was oddly enough, had a power roll stroker crank and a White Brothers big bore kit, and I wanted the Makuni smooth bore carburetor kit for it. That was from White Brothers as well. Well, it was back ordered. Well, they had a XL/XR 500 carburetor up on the shelf there, just behind the parts. This is before I started working there, and I go, I think I'll buy that 500 kit. And the parts manager, who I still know, he still rides. He comes in to the shop, and it's great all these years later, you know. And anyway, he goes, it'll never run. It won't even start. You'll never get it to idle. That's just too big of a carburetor for that thing. And I told him, I said, well, it's 347 cc's, you know. It rips. It just can't get enough air through, you know. And I took that thing home. I had to do something with the manifold. Actually, I think I might have had the manifold already, because I mean, it was considerably larger. But the head was all ported out. It was ready to take that. Whatever, I don't remember what size the kit was. I think the one for the 500 was a 40mm smoothbore, which, I mean, legitly should not have ever worked. Anyway, I get the thing on there. First kick, boom, 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 boom. I never had to touch the jets, never had to do anything. That thing was mind-numbingly fast. Of course, that was, you know, 79, whatever. And it was a 77 or 78 XO. I think it was a 78. Because the 250s came out before the 500, if I recall right. I know the XL250S was definitely out before the 500, and I had the first year of it, wherever that was. That might have been a 77. I don't know. I got it in 78 after we moved up here, and yeah. And oddly enough, there was a logging class after school that I went to, those last 2 periods of high school. And I go driving by every once in a while. There's this road, you come out of Castle Rock, and it takes you over this mountain, over to Ocean Beach Highway. And we go out to that park with the river, the Columbia River going by. We did that last year. I did it last year with the Pan America. That was, I think, one of the first rides Kelly and I rode together. We went out there and go walk along the Columbia. God, it was so peaceful that day. You know, it was just starting to cool off and everything. Ooh, it's nice. Anyway, there's a road that cuts off, and that's the shop teacher that taught the logging class. He had his own property out there. Well, he used the class to clear his property, cutting them great big old fir trees down. And anyway, we're going out there, some young lads and cars, we were racing. Now, the one thing that 250 didn't like was holding the throttle wide open for extended periods of time. I had her pinned to win, you know, and all of a sudden I felt that soft feeling. Pulled her down, and it melted the exhaust skirt side of the piston, the skirt, and of course the tightness forced it to, you know, burr up the intake a little bit. So I poked her out to the next size, so she was a little more than 347 cc's, and got it running again. I just didn't use it. I think ended up getting a 400 hog or a CB750. I got something, a regular street bike, so I could quit romping that XL around. And I was goofing around with a friend of mine we were doing wheelies. There was some flooding, and we're doing wheelies across this water crossing. It was this kind of a driveway type thing, and right, hitting the water, and it just water flying everywhere. It was just crazy looking. Well, I did it one too many. See him in there. Did it one too many times, and ended up looping the bike, hitting the water. I think it tried to come over too quick, and I compensated, whatever it was. All I remember is coming off the bike and just watching it slide on the tail light away from me. And it hit the ground and just did that barrel roll thing. It ripped the dash out of it, ripped the rear fender. Oddly enough, I think was metal. Yeah, it was metal. Yeah, I think it was a metal fender. And just ripped the taillight right out of the whole assembly. So she got some Preston Petty. Do you remember them? That plastic company? So got some Preston Petty front fender, and that was the cool fenders at the time. I mean, that was the coolest stuff. You had to put Preston Petty fenders on. And then see the wheels underneath there. Oh yeah, she's hiding. Hello there, see the sky. Beautiful day to be out ripping around. I keep hearing that. Something's. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. Something's clicking. But anyway, she became a dirt bike only, and then of course rode it a long time as just a dirt bike, and then ended up buying an actual dirt bike, and that became Kelly's ride. Every time we go dirt bike riding, she'd ride that thing. Even as built as that thing was, it was tame enough that she could ride that thing around, and she just put around, boom, 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 boom. You think it'd load up with that big old 40mm smoothbore Maguni on there that was never jetted. It just, no matter what, the plug color was perfect. Super high RPMs and tight tolerances was not good for the piston and cylinder, though. She wasn't running lean. But anyway, stupid, crazy stories. The pumpkin, I like to call them. I don't mean that in a bad way. That's what we called the old element we had. There was this for this year, and you guys have, everything fades at a different rate on these things. But I actually think it gives it character. I wouldn't change a thing. I'd leave it, just let it keep fading. I think it's cool. It's unique, very unique. But other than whatever, sounds like something slapping, like something's loose down there. I don't know if they got some accessory or what it is. I'll look around when I'll get it in the shop there and eyeball her. She's a beauty. I forget the name of the color. It's a dark edition. I absolutely love these blacked out lights. That was really cool. So that Subaru was not there, and how I talk about, I don't know how well this will come across on the camera, so I'll never line up, but your phone works perfect as a mirror. Just pretend you're looking at your phone. You can look over your shoulder, just see things behind you. Whenever I do thumbnails or whatever, I always look, especially during the pandemic days. It was crazy out here, but perfect mirror. That black screen just as well be a mirror. I give up. Peace. Kelly loved those things, but even her, as small as she is, felt a little cramped in the back. The 2020 and newer Yeah, it's the floorboard clicking. Definitely seen that before. Make sure all that's tight. Some of them, I had a gal that hers just clicked, and no matter what, I just could not make that go away. It's the craziest thing. Simply wonderful. They're moving all the snow up. Why did I upshift like a knucklehead? I was going to do a manual downshift and went the wrong way. Sometimes the mind loses its way. Well, thanks for coming along for this on this beautiful ride. She's a pretty one. All right. Hey, that's the same setup the Sea to Sky gentleman had. Oh, by the way, he was sitting up on one of the porches up there when I was coming back. He comes down and he goes, "You see me waving?" I didn't look that way. I'm afraid he was waiting for me to bring the Spyder up front. I think he showed up while I was on the test ride, and I think they probably told him I was on a test ride. Well, if I don't know they're standing here, I'm not going to take it up front, you know. I don't want people sitting and messing around with their bike, but look at that. Somebody says probably oh, she just did it by pure accident. Well, thanks for letting me in. Thanks for letting me in.
Say it again.
Thanks for letting me in.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't even know I was there, did you?
No, well, I seen the yellow. I didn't know.
Have a nice evening. I said, have a nice evening.
You too.
All right. We lose our minds. And then somewhere in the loop there, the hearing goes too. I'm hearing that. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that thing. Who's doing the clicky here? Wouldn't it be crazy if a lug nut was loose or something like that? You don't feel that when you ride until they get really loose and start grumbling and you get that roll sound, you know? You run a torque wrench over stuff. Yeah, as soon as I step on that thing. Interesting. Could be a rock stuck in a spring or something like that, but anyway, there we are. Lug nuts, ball joints, all that stuff's good shape. It's a subpar aftermarket sway bar on there. It's the metal links that those things just horrible. But that's what's making the noise. Nothing else wrong with it. I checked the lugs. The loose, they were right at 77. You know, I get 77.2. I had one that was 76 point something another, but I set them all. They were all right there. But all good. Well, hello there, YouTube. Holy moly! One more day in this weekend.
Yes.
That's fun riding that Spyder, and it was a fun day today. It was kind of not so frantic, which was really nice.
That's good.
No behind on a video or anything weird like that. It's nice and smooth. Spyder runs good. And fun to ride. They always are. And anyway, I don't really have anything to say. I think I said it all. Or whether it was any good or not, I just talked it all out. So we're going to roll at that.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Friday or Saturday.
Heck yeah. See y'all in the morning.
See you in the morning.
All right. Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.